Okay, Algebra 2, we got the updated calendar, the 11th. I sent this out. And today we're looking at Unit 4, Lessons 4 and 5. 4 and 5, so it's due on the 15th. So what was here? How to know your bases. We're gonna solve using common base. So a little quick, powers of 2. I think I did this before. Obviously 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. You might want to write down some of the powers of 3. Besides 3, we got 9, 27, 81. The powers of 4. Actually, here's the power of 4. There's power of 4. Powers of 5 are useful. Sometimes you're going to use the 5 or 25 or 125. So on this one, I got 2 and 8. So I'm going to use powers of 2. So 2 to the x power, and I'm going to change 8. I'm going to make that 2 to the 3rd power. And it's raised to the x plus 2. And what do you do when you got power to a power? You multiply them. So 2 to the x, 2 to the 3x, plus 6. Distribute. Okay, so now I can drop these 2's. X is equal to 3x plus 6. Take away 3x. So I got negative 2x is equal to 6. I divide both sides by negative 2. And I get x is equal to negative 3. So this is not a multiple choice. It should work on that one. Next one's multiple choice. But again, looking at these, well, that's obviously a power of 2, and that is a power of 2. It's pretty high up there. So let's see if I can find out what it is. Is it like 2 to the 6th power? No. 2 to the, let's try 7. No. 2 raised to the 8th power, maybe. I think that's it. 2 to the 8th power. So 2 to the 8th power is 256. So this is 2 to the x. And now because it's down here, I want to get it up. It's going to be negative 8, right? Got to bring that up there. So I need a negative power. So 2 to the negative 8 is the same thing as 1 over 256. All right, and that's basically it. Drop the 2's, so x is equal to negative 8. I'm done already. All right. Now I can see 27 and 1/9 powers of 3. This is a little trickier though, because it's not just x. I got an a in there. So, but first we got to get the same base, common base they call this. So 3 to the 3rd power. That's what 27 is. Well, 9 is 3 squared, but it's 1/9, so it's going to be 3 to the negative 2. All right, distribute, multiply, distribute. So you get 3, 6x minus 3a, 3 to the negative 2x minus 6a. Drop these 3's. I think I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So I get 8x equals negative 3a, and then I'm going to minus 3a equals negative 6a, and then I'm going to add 3a to both sides. So 8x equals negative 3a. If I divide by 8, you can see the answer, I hope. Negative 3a is a. That's what I'm looking for, which is choice 3. All right, number 4. So I'm trying to figure out what the base is. What am I multiplying by, remember? So this is the multiplier. So, I mean, it is multiple choice. It's definitely growing, but these are all positive, or, I mean, bigger than 1, so they're all growing. I guess I could just, test with my calculator, but I want to show you what we're heading for on the next page anyway. So I might just pick these first 2 and go, well, what is that? That is 71 equals a b to the 2nd power. And what is this? That is 102 is the output. ab to the 5th power. Okay. Now I like to have this one below. So I'm going to divide by 71 and divide by ab to the 2nd. Why am I doing this? To get rid of a, to eliminate. I don't know what that is. I'm just going to leave it as a fraction. Okay. And over here I got b to the 3rd power. So now I'm going to take the cube root. And when I do that, I'm going to get b by itself. So the cube root of 102 divided by 71 is what I want. Now, Where's the cube root? You go to math, it's choice 4. And I got 102 divided by 71. It comes out to be 1.128, or so I'm looking for 1.13, approximately 1.13, which is choice 1. Okay, and we're going to use that same technique on this next page when we get to 6 and 7. But first, we got one more here. Common base. G of x is this function. Now be careful. People made mistakes earlier. On other worksheets, the output is 22, not the input. I don't know what the input is. So 1/5, 2x plus 7, take away 3 equals 22. I'm trying to figure out what that input is. I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I got 1/5. 2x plus 7 is equal to 25, and there's powers of 5. That's 5 to the negative 1, and that's 5 squared. Method of common bases. Distribute 5 to the negative 2x minus 7 equals 5 to the second. Drop these 5s now. Solve for x. Gonna add 7. And then divide by negative 2. So x equals negative 9/2. Or if you want to put negative 4.5. Either one. I like the fraction. All right. An object is slowing down, so decaying, decreasing. After 2 seconds, it's traveling at 58 feet per second. So there's one input. 2, 58. After 5 seconds, it's only going 11. After 5 seconds, it's only going 11. So it's decaying. It's getting slower. Okay. Come up with an equation. Round A and B to the hundredths place. Okay. So like we kind of did in the previous problem 4. I'm going to say, hey, I got this. It's 58 is the output. I don't know what A is, I don't know what B is, but I know I'm going to square it. And the output here is 11, A, B to the 5th power. This is very similar to number 4. I'm going to put this one below here and divide. And I just like to have the higher power on top because I want a positive exponent, not a negative exponent. I'm going to leave that 11 over 58, and then just like we did before, take the cube root. If that was the 4th power, take the 4th root, whatever power's there. So, once again, math, cube root 11 divided by 58. I'm going to, remember, we want to keep that whole thing there, 0.5745. I don't want to round yet, because I got to find A. So go back to one of these original ones. I'll take the 11. No, I'll take the 58. Let's take the 58. 58 equals A, but I got B, 0.55745. Dot, 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 dot. I'm going to keep the whole thing in my calculator. Raised to the 2nd power. All right. And I'm going to divide by whatever's in my calculator and square it. Okay, and that'll get A by itself. All right, so take 58 divided by this answer, previous answer, and I want to square it. So the calculator will square first and divide second. So I'm getting 175.7. Now I can round to the hundredths place, 71. 175.71, B, 0.57. So there's my A, there's my B, so Y is equal to 175.71, 0.57x. There's the exponential function. It's decaying because it's less than 1. All right, now we're going to look at something growing. And I don't know, I've been watching way too much news, so I figured I'd use some real data. So on April 6th, they had 130,687 people in New York State had confirmed cases of coronavirus. 2 days later, April 8th, that number rose to 149,401 people. All right, so obviously we're growing. I'm going to use April 1st as the first day, okay, so which means this is day 6, this is day 8. I'm trying to make it simple. Come up with the model. How fast are we growing? All right. I want to round A to nearest whole number. Why? Because we're talking about people. How many people have the disease? And B to the hundreds place. I got this data from the New York Times. All right, so how am I doing this? I know the numbers are bigger, but it's the same thing. 130,689 people on the 6th day, raised to the 6th power. And then 149,401 is A, B on the 8th day of the month. 8th day of the month, okay? So what are we doing? I'm going to put this one below. I'm going to divide by 130,689 and A, B to the 6th power, so that A cancels and 8 take away 6 gives me 2. So I just got squared this time. Over here I'm going to have a crazy number. I'm just going to leave it in my calculator. All right, so then I'm going to take just the square root, not the cube root, the square root. So math, no, I don't need that. Just take the square root. Got the square root button there. Square root 149,401 divided by 130,689. We're going to write that all out. 1.06919 ... We'll leave the whole thing in there again. Okay. If I want to get A, I use the first one. So I had 130,689. Trying to find A. I got B, 1.06919, the whole thing, raised to the 6th power. And I'm going to divide by that. 1.06919 ... raised to the 6th power. So 130,689 divided by let's put in parentheses 1, or let's just put the answer. I don't feel like typing the whole thing in there. The answer raised to the 6th power. And I want to round this off to the nearest person, so 87,477. In terms of what we just found, that means on April 1st. That's how many people had the coronavirus in New York State. Now, is that accurate? I don't know, probably not, but it's probably pretty close if you look it up. Like, I got all my data from the New York Times. So here's the rate of growth, 87,477, and we're going to round that to the hundredths place, 1.07 raised to the x power. So over that 2-day period, you could say we're growing 7% per day, which is an improvement. Been watching the news, been growing a lot. And when this first started, when we left school and stuff, it was growing a lot faster than 7%. So it's been slowing, as they keep talking about it on the news. So real life math. All right, so you're going to be doing the independent work. The first one, you have to show some work. I only got a couple multiple choice questions here. I got to show. No, that's multiple choice. There's 3 multiple choice questions, and the back is just like the 3 questions I just did. All right, so hopefully everybody's staying safe.